Just give me a minute. I'm trying to log in through my laptop. Showing some issues. Hare Krishna. Some problem with my laptop. Meanwhile, I'll start on my mobile. Okay. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaya Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaum Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hara Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Govindaya Namaha Sri Krishna Hari Bol Gopala Hari Bol Radha Ramana Govinda Hari Bol Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Haribo Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Welcome you all to the Srimad Bhagavatam prayers. Anybody remember from where we have to start? I think we have completed Dhruv Maharaj prayers, no? We have Prahlad Maharaj prayers.
Prayers by Gajendra.
Prayers by Gajendra we have finished, I think, no? Last class.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible? Hare Krishna. Somebody please answer.
You are audible, Mataji.
Okay. So we have completed till by prayers by Gajendra, I think, no?
Yes, Mataji.
Today, this week, I think we have to do prayers by Satyavrata, prayers by demigods and Nala Kubera. Okay, we will see how many we can complete. Okay. 5.24, 46. Hare Krishna. I think from 46 to 46 to 53. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Can start.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Murli Prabhu, you are muted. You are on mute.
Now it is okay.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. Yes, Mataji, you can start from 46 sloka.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. The king said, by the grace of the Lord, those who have lost their self-knowledge since time immemorial and who because of their ignorance are involved in material conditional life full of miseries obtain the chance to meet the Lord's devotee. I accept that Supreme Personality of Godhead as a supreme spiritual master. In hopes of becoming happy in the material world, the foolish conditioned soul performs fruitive activities that result only in suffering. But by rendering service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one becomes free from such false desires for happiness. May my Supreme Spiritual Master cut the knot of false desires in the core of my heart. One who wants to be free of material entanglement should take to the service of Supreme Personality of Godhead and give up the contamination of ignorance involving pious and impious activities. Thus, one regains his original identity, just as a block of gold or silver sheds all dirt. And becomes purified when treated with fire. May that inexhaustible Supreme Personality of Godhead become our spiritual master, for he is the original spiritual master of all other spiritual masters. Neither all the demigods, nor the so-called gurus, nor all other people, either independently or together, can offer mercy that equals even 1,000 of years. Therefore, I wish to take shelter of your lotus feet. Yes, Mataji, further.
Just scrolling down. Just a moment.
As a blind man, being unable to see, accepts another blind man as his leader. People who do not know the goal of life accept someone as a guru who is a rascal and a fool. But we are interested in self-realization. Therefore, we accept you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as our spiritual master. For you are able to see in all directions and are omniscient like the sun. A materialist so-called guru instructs his materialistic disciples about economic development and sense gratification. And because of such instructions, the foolish disciples continue in the materialistic existence of ignorance. But your Lordship gives knowledge that is eternal, and the intelligent person receiving such knowledge is quickly situated in his original constitutional position. My Lord, you are the supreme well-wishing friend of everyone, the dearmost friend, the controller, the super soul, the supreme instructor, and the giver of supreme knowledge and the fulfillment of all desires. But although you are within the heart, the foolish, because of lusty desires in the heart, cannot understand you. O Supreme Lord, for self-realization I surrender unto you. You are worshipped by the demigods as the supreme controller of everything. By your instructions, exposing life's purpose, kindly cut the knot from the core of my heart and let me know the destination of my life.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
So this particular prayers by Satyavrata, who will become Manu in his next life, this is taken from that Matsya Avatara chapter. Okay. So it always says that you should not take the help of people who are not realized souls. Always you should take the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master who has seen the God. So he can show us the way. So ultimately our ultimate guru will be the Lord Krishna. So we wanted to go in the path of self-realization, not to get deviated from here and there. So once we surrender onto him, he will take charge of our life and we will automatically go in towards his our destiny. So the only thing what we can do is take the shelter of a spiritual master, surrender ourselves to Lord Krishna. And automatically he will take care of everything. Okay. Now we'll move on to our next prayers, which are prayers by demigod from 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. (10.2) 26 to 41. Yes, Murli Prabhu, you can start reading from 26th sloka onwards. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Till 41 you have to read.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Text 26. The demigods prayed, O Lord, you never deviate from your vow, which is always perfect, because whatever you decide is perfectly correct and cannot be stopped by anyone. Being present in the three phases of cosmic manifestation, creation, maintenance, and annihilation, you are the supreme truth. Indeed, unless one is completely truthful, one cannot achieve your favor, which therefore cannot be achieved by hypocrites. You are the active principle, the real truth in all the ingredients of creation, and therefore you are known as Antaryami, the inner force. You are equal to everyone, and your instructions apply for everyone, for all time. You are the beginning of all truth. Therefore, offering our obeisances, we surrender unto you. Kindly give us protection. Text 27. The body, the total body, and the individual body are of the same composition, may figuratively be called the original tree. From this tree, which fully depends on the ground of material nature, come two kinds of fruit: the enjoyment of happiness and the suffering of distress. The cause of the tree forming its three roots is association with the three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. The fruits of bodily happiness have four tastes: religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation, which are experienced through the five senses for acquiring knowledge in the midst of six circumstances: lamentation, illusion, old age, death, hunger, and thirst. The seven layers of bark covering the tree are skin, blood, muscle, fat, bone marrow, and semen. And the 8 branches of the tree are the 5 gross and 3 subtle elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. The tree of the body has 9 hollows: the eyes, the ears, the nostrils, the mouth, rectum, and genitals, and 10 leaves, the 10 ears passing through the body. In this tree of the body, there are 2 birds. One is the individual soul and the other is the super soul. Text 28. The efficient cause of this material world, manifested with its many varieties as the original tree, is you. O Lord, you are also the maintainer of this material world, and after annihilation, you are the one in whom everything is conserved. Those who are covered by your external energy cannot see you behind this manifestation, but theirs is not the vision of learned devotees. Text 29. O Lord, you are always in full knowledge, and to bring all good fortune to all living entities, you appear in different incarnations, all of them transcendental to the material creation. When you appear in these incarnations, you are pleasing to the pious and religious devotees, but for non-devotees, you are the annihilator. Text 30. O lotus-eyed Lord, by concentrating one's meditation on your lotus feet, which are the reservoir of all existence, and by accepting those lotus feet as the boat by which to cross the ocean of nescience, one follows in the footsteps of Mahajanas, great saints, sages, and devotees. By this simple process, one can cross the ocean of nescience as easily as one steps over the hoof print of a calf. Text 31. O Lord, you resemble the shining sun. You are always ready to fulfill the desire of your devotee, and therefore you are known as a desire tree. Vancha kalpataru. When acharyas completely take shelter under your lotus feet in order to cross the fierce ocean of nescience, they leave behind on earth the method by which they cross. And because you are very merciful to your other devotees, you accept this method to help them. Text 32. Someone may say that aside from devotees who always seek shelter in the Lord's lotus feet, there are those who are not devotees, but who have accepted different processes for attaining salvation. What happens to them? In answer to this question, Lord Brahma and the other demigods said, O lotus-eyed Lord, although non-devotees who accept severe austerities and penances to achieve the highest position may think themselves liberated, their intelligence is impure. They fall down from their position of imagined superiority because they have no regard for your lotus feet. Text 33. O Madhava, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord of the Goddess of Fortune, if devotees completely in love with you sometimes fall from the path of devotion, they do not fall like non-devotees, or you still protect them. Thus they fearlessly traverse the heads of their opponents and continue to progress in devotional service. Text 34. O Lord, during the time of maintenance, you manifest several incarnations, all with transcendental bodies beyond the material modes of nature. When you appear in this way, you bestow all good fortune upon the living entities by teaching them to perform Vedic activities such as ritualistic ceremonies, mystic yoga, austerities, penances, and ultimately samadhi, aesthetic absorption in thoughts of you. Thus, you are worshipped by the Vedic principles. Text 35. O Lord, cause of all causes, if your transcendental body were not beyond the modes of material nature, one could understand the difference between
Could not.
between matter and transcendence. Only by your presence can one understand the transcendental nature of your lordship, who are the controller of material nature. Your transcendental nature is very difficult to understand unless one is influenced by the presence of your transcendental form. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare.
Shall I continue?
Yeah, till 41 you have to continue,
Oh,
Prabhu.
right, Mataji. Text 36. Even while engaged in various activities, devotees whose minds are completely absorbed at your lotus feet and who constantly hear, chant, contemplate, and cause others to remember your transcendental name and forms are always on the transcendental platform, and thus they can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 38. O Lord, we are fortunate because the heavy burden of the demons upon this earth is immediately removed by your appearance. Indeed, we are certainly fortunate for we shall be able to see upon this earth and in the heavenly planets the marks of lotus, conch shell, club, and disc that adorn your lotus feet. Text 39. O Supreme Lord, you are not an ordinary living entity appearing in this material world as a result of fluctuative activities. Therefore, your appearance or birth in this world has no other cause than your pleasure potency. Similarly, the living entities who are part of you have no cause for miseries like birth, death, old age, except when these living entities are conducted by your external energy. Text 40. O Supreme Controller, your Lordship previously accepted incarnation as a fish, a horse, a tortoise, Narsimadeva, a boar, a swan, Lord Ramchandra, Parashurama, and among the demigods, Vamana Deva, to protect the entire world by your mercy. Now please protect us again by your mercy by diminishing the disturbances in this world. O Krishna, best of the Yadavs, we respectfully offer our obeisances unto you. Text 41. O Mother Devaki, by your good fortune and ours, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself with all His plenary portions such as Baladeva is now within your womb. Therefore, you need not fear Kamsa, who has decided to be killed by the Lord. Your eternal son Krishna will be the protector of the entire Yadu dynasty.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this is when Lord Krishna is in the womb of Mother Devaki. The demigods are offering the prayers to Lord Krishna. Okay, so he is the both superior and inferior energy of the Lord, and we are the inferior energy of the Lord, and we connect to the Lord by three different modes of material, that is Sattva, Raja, and Tamoguna. Okay, and the people who pursue the God, the worship the God, some through the demigod worship because of certain purpose and all, and they fall into, like as per Bhagavad Gita, whatever you think of, when you're leaving your material, antakalecha mameva smaran mukta kalevara. So whenever you're leaving this material body, what you remember at the last time, at the time of passing your at the time of death, again, if you are thinking of Krishna, you will not come back. If you are thinking of demigods, or if you're thinking of your relationships or anything, anything materialistic, again, you have to come back to this cycle of birth and death. So the choice, so we have to make a constant choice by engaging ourselves in the service of Krishna, because if we get deviated from that is the spiritual path, and then again we'll fall down to the material path. Material path, again, it's been the cycle of birth and death. So, but whatever it is, even this energy is Lord Krishna's, inferior energy is Lord Krishna, but we don't want to get stuck up in that inferior energy of the Lord. We want to get liberated. So take help of the proper Acharya, and under his guidance, try to follow the regulative principles, do all the upacharas which is required to us to stay in the Krishna consciousness, and automatically we will get elevated. So at the same time, demigods were saying in the end, like Lord Krishna has taken various incarnations, as mentioned in this text 40, and so he can take care of all the demons who are troubling you. So now also he is coming to kill Kamsa. So don't fear what will happen to him. Definitely he will protect the entire Yadu dynasty. That's what demigods are saying to Mother Devaki. So we'll move on to our next is the prayers by Nala Kubera. Okay. So deliverance of Yamala and Arjuna trees. Anybody remember this story?
No, Mataji.
That Damodar Mas, we have that picture of little Damodara, who Mother Yashoda will tie him to the, the dolak and all, and she will leave him in the backyard. Remember?
Yes, yes.
Yes, please tell Mataji, what is that? What is you remembered in that?
I only remember that Yashoda Mai tying him to the butter churning thing. And then,
yeah.
Because, then I think that's the picture I remember, Mataji. I don't remember the story as
then
such.
she will leave him in the backyard, whenever she's trying to tie him with a rope to that motor, it was coming short by some inches and all, but at the end, Lord will say, okay, I will not make my mother get troubled. So I see that the rope is fitting me. Okay. So for that, what she does is she will leave him in the courtyard, in the backyard. Okay. And he's a small child, and he'll go there crawling, and he will get stuck up between the two trees, which are the Nalakuvar and Manigriva, who are the sons of Kubera. See, Kubera being the richest god. Okay. Fully opulent and all, and his sons very much filthy rich because his father is rich and all, and they could not see the opulences. And one day Narad Muni will be passing by, and these people are naked, and they were taking bath in a in the nearby lake, and they could not see the Narad Muni who is passing by, and they ignore him. Okay, the Narad Muni will get furious out of the actions which are done by Nalakuvera and Manigriva, and he will curse them to become trees in the backyard of Lord Krishna's place, that is Nanda Maharaj place. So during the Damodar Mas and all, when Mother Yashoda tie him to that motor and leave him there, and he will go and he'll get stuck up between those trees and they will get liberated. Okay. Yeah. Hare Krishna, just a minute. Hare Krishna. Can somebody please start reading from 29th text onwards?
I can read, Mataji. Can I?
Yeah, 29 to 38. Yeah.
Oh Lord Krishna, your opulent mysticism is inconceivable. You are the supreme original person, the cause of all causes, immediate and remote, and you are beyond this material creation. Learned Brahmanas know on the basis of the Vedic statement, Sarva Kalva Idam Brahma, that you are everything and that this cosmic manifestation is its gross and subtle aspects is your form. Acts 30:31. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the controller of everything. The body, life, ego, and the senses of every living entity are your own self. You are the Supreme Person, Vishnu, the imperishable controller. You are the time factor, the immediate cause, and you are material nature, consisting of the three modes passion, goodness, and ignorance. You are the original cause of this material manifestation. You are the super soul, and therefore you know everything within the core of the heart of every living entity. O Lord, you exist before the creation. Therefore, who trapped by a body of material qualities in this material world can understand you? O Lord, whose glories are covered by your own energy, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are Sankarshana, the origin of creation, and you are Vasudeva, the origin of the Chatur Vyuha. Because you are everything and are therefore the Supreme Brahman, we simply offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Appearing in bodies like those of an ordinary fish, tortoise, and hog, you exhibit activities impossible for such creatures to perform, extraordinary, incomparable, transcendental activities of unlimited power and strength. These bodies of yours, therefore, are not made of material elements, but are incarnations of your Supreme Personality. You are the same Supreme Personality of Godhead who have now appeared with full potency for the benefit of all living entities within the material world. O supremely auspicious, we offer our respectful obeisances unto you, who are the supreme good. O most famous descendant and controller of the Yadu dynasty, O son of Vasudeva, O most peaceful, let us offer our obeisances unto your lotus feet. O supreme form, we are always servants of your servants, especially of Narad Muni. Now give us permission to leave for our home. It is by the grace and mercy of Narada Muni that we have been able to see you face to face. Henceforward, may all our words describe your pastimes, may our ears engage in oral reception of your glories, may our hands, legs, and other senses engage in actions pleasing to you, and may our minds always think of your lotus feet. May our heads offer up our obeisances to everything within this world, because all things are also your different forms, and may our eyes see the forms of Vaishnavas who are non-different from you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
So this Nala Kubera, they get lost in the material world and they will ignore. And as I told you, they will get relief once Lord Krishna while playing, when he gets stuck between these two trees, and they will get relief. And this is how they offer the prayers. And now that they got an opportunity to get relief by the Lord's touch, okay, and they are offering the obeisances, and they will go back to their place. So next we have a prayers by Brahma. Okay. Okay, we'll go where it is. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Stealing of boys and cows by Brahma. Brahma's prayers to Lord Krishna. So 3 to 39. Okay, 33 are there. Before this, I just wanted to tell you a story. So these prayers which are offered by Brahma are, one day where Lord Krishna and the cowherd boys will go to the bank of Yamuna river to graze the cows, the calves and all those things. And they will carry a lot of food stuff, like a snacks, like thing to have during the break time, and the cows and the calf will be grazing at one end at the bank, and these people will be busy playing, and Krishna will say, now that we got so much of food from home, I'll just wash my hands and feet and come, and we all of us can have the food together, we can have a feast. So what he does is he go there in a fraction of second. Brahma will be passing by there, and he will see Lord Krishna. Okay, and he doubts whether he is the original Krishna or what. Somewhere he get the doubt. It's a Maya effect again, we can say. And what it is yes, if he's really original Krishna, let me give it a try by abducting all the people who are there. So in the fraction of second, when Lord Krishna will go to take, wash his hands and feet to come back and have the food with his friends and all. So all the friends, the cows, the calf, everything is abducted by Lord Brahma, and all of them will go to the Brahma Loka. And in a fraction of second, Krishna will not understand anything, what's happening here. So my dear friends were there here in a few seconds or few minutes back, and now that nobody is appearing here, what shall I answer? Then what he does is he clone himself. I mean, he divide himself into all those missing cowherd boys, the cows, calves, and all. So meanwhile, he will give a visit to Brahmaloka also, and and he will see that Brahma has abducted all these people, and they're all comfortably staying there. So after an year or so, Brahma will come for a visit to the earth, and he just wanted to see what happened to the parents and all whose kids have been abducted by him. Okay, when he go and visit individual home, he will see that he will find each child who he has abducted and who is there in Brahmaloka with the parents here. And the cows and calves are very, very happy, and they are giving more milk than before, because the cow and calf is the Krishna here, isn't it? And the parents are more happy than with their original children. So he'll see, why is everything all right? Why is this happening here? Let me go back to Brahmaloka, check and come back. So when he go there, he will find all the abducted people there, and he will come and he'll fall down on Lord Krishna's feet, and he will offer the prayers. Okay, so the all prayers which now we'll be reading is his realization prayers by the Brahma towards Lord Krishna. So it starts from text 3 to 39. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Can somebody please volunteer to read? Start reading, or two or three people can divide among yourself.
Yes, I can read, Mataji. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, Preet, you can start. Then Kirti Mataji can start. I think 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which from third, Mataji, or from
3 to 12.
text?
Yeah, 3 to 30 you can read, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. Those who, even while remaining situated in the established social positions, throw away the process of speculative knowledge, and with their body, words, and mind offer all respects to descriptions of your personality and activities, dedicating their lives to these narrations, which are vibrated by you personally and by your pure devotees, certainly conquer your lordship, although you are otherwise unconquerable by anyone within the three worlds. My dear Lord, devotional service unto you is the best path for self-realization. If someone gives up that path and engages in the cultivation of speculative knowledge, he will simply undergo a troublesome process and will not achieve his desired results. As a person who beats an empty husk of wheat cannot get grain, one who simply speculates cannot achieve self-realization. His only gain is trouble. O Almighty Lord, in the past, many yogis in this world achieved the platform of devotional service by offering all their endeavors unto you and faithfully carrying out their prescribed duties. Through such devotional service, perfection by the processes of hearing and chanting about you, they came to understand you, O infallible one, and could easily surrender to you and achieve your supreme abode. Non-devotees, however, cannot realize you in your full personal feature. Nonetheless, it may be possible for them to realize your expansion as the impersonal supreme by cultivating direct perception of the self within the heart. But they can do this only by purifying their mind and senses of all conceptions of material distinctions and all attachments to material sense objects. Only in this way will your impersonal feature manifest itself to them. In time, learned philosophers or scientists might be able to count all the atoms of the earth, the particle of snow, or perhaps even the shining molecules radiating from the sun, the stars, and other luminaries. But among these learned men who could possibly count the unlimited transcendental qualities possessed by you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have descended onto the surface of the earth for the benefit of all living entities. My dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds and offering you respectful obeisances with his heart, words, and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. Oh, my Lord, just see my uncivilized impudence. Sorry. To test your power, I try to extend my illusory potency to cover you. The unlimited and primeval supersoul will bewilder even the masters of illusion. What am I compared to you? I am just like a small spark in the presence of a great fire. Therefore, O infallible Lord, kindly excuse my offenses. I have taken birth in the mode of passion, and am therefore simply foolish, presuming myself a controller independent of your lordship. My eyes are blinded by the darkness of ignorance, which causes me to think of myself as the unborn creator of the universe. But please consider that I am your servant and therefore worthy of your compassion. What am I? A small creature seven, measuring 7 spans of my own hand. I am enclosed in a pot-like universe composed of material nature, the total material energy, false ego, ether, air, water, and earth. And what is your glory? Unlimited universes pass through the pores of your body just as particles of dust pass through the openings of a screened window. O Lord, Adok, O Lord, Adokshaja, does a mother take offense when the child within her womb kicks with his legs? And is there anything in existence, whether designated by various philosophers as real or unreal, that is actually outside your abdomen? My dear Lord, it is said that when the three planetary systems emerged into the water at the time of dissolution, your plenary position, Narayana, lies down on the water. Gradually, a lotus flower grows from his navel, and Brahma takes birth upon the lotus flower. Certainly, these words are not false. Thus, am I not born from you? Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So he's just saying sorry for his immature behavior and he's describing Lord in a different way. Yeah. Next, Mataji.
Are you not the original Narayana, O Supreme Controller, since you are the soul of every embodied being and the eternal witness of all created beings? Indeed, Lord Narayana is your expansion, and he is called Narayana because he is the generating source of the primeval water of the universe. He is not real, he is real, not a product of your illusionary Maya. My dear Lord, if your transcendental body, which shelters the entire universe, is actually lying upon the water, then why were you not seen by me when I searched for you? Then why, though I could not envision you properly within my heart, did you then suddenly reveal yourself? My dear Lord, in this incarnation you have proved that you are the supreme controller of Maya. Although you are now within this universe, the whole universal creation is within your transcendental body, a fact you demonstrated by exhibiting the universe within your abdomen before your mother, Yashoda. Just as this universe, including you, was exhibited within your abdomen, so it is now manifested here externally in the same exact form. How could such things happen unless arranged by your inconceivable energy? Have you not shown me today that both you, yourself, and everything within this creation are manifestations of your inconceivable potency? First you appeared alone, and then you manifested yourself as all of Vrindavan's calves and cowherd boys, your friends. Next you appeared as an equal number of 400 Vishnu forms, who were worshipped by all living beings, including me. And after that you appeared as an equal number of complete universes. Finally, you have now returned to your unlimited form as the Supreme Absolute Two, The truth spun without a second. To persons ignorant of your actual transcendental possession, you appear as a part of the material world, manifesting yourself by the expansion of your inconceivable energy. Thus, for the creation of the universe, you appear as me, Brahma. For its maintenance, you appear as yourself, Vishnu. And for its annihilation, you appear as Lord Trinetra, Shiva. O Lord, O Supreme Creator and Master, you have no material birth, yet to defeat the false pride of the faithless demons and show mercy to your saintly devotees, you take birth among the demigods, sages, human beings, animals, and even the aquatics. O Supreme Great One, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Super Soul, Master of all mystic power, your pastimes are taking place continuously in these three worlds, but who can estimate where, how, and when you are employing your spiritual energy and are performing these innumerable pastimes? No one can understand the mystery of how your spiritual energy acts. Therefore, this entire universe, which is like a dream, is by nature unreal, nevertheless appears real, and thus it covers one's consciousness and assures one with repeated miseries. This universe appears real because it is manifested by the potency of illusion emanating from you, whose unlimited transcendental forms are full of eternal happiness and knowledge. You are the one supreme soul, the primeval supreme personality, the absolute truth, self manifested, endless, and beginningless. You are eternal and infallible, perfect and complete, without any rival and free from all material designations. Your happiness can never be obstructed, nor have you any connection with material contamination. Indeed, you are the indestructible nectar of immortality. Those who have received the clear vision of knowledge from the sunlight spiritual master can see you in this way as the very souls of all souls, the super soul of everyone's own self. Thus, understanding your original personality, they are able to cross over the ocean of illusionary material existence. A person who makes mistakes a rope for a snake becomes fearful, but then he gives up his fear upon realizing that the so called snake does not exist. Similarly, for those who fail to recognize you as the supreme soul of all souls, the expansive illusionary material existence arises, but knowledge of you at once causes it to subside. The conception of material bondage and the conception of liberation are both manifestations of ignorance. Being outside the scope of true knowledge, this ceases to exist when one correctly understands that pure spirit soul is distinct from matter and always fully conscious. At the time of bondage and liberation no longer have any significance, just as day and night have no significance from the perspective of sun. Just see the foolishness of those ignorant persons who consider you to be some separated manifestation of illusion and who consider the self, which is actually you, to be something else, the material body. Such fools conclude that the supreme soul is to be searched for somewhere outside your supreme personality. O unlimited Lord, the saintly devotees seek you out within their own bodies by rejecting everything separate from you. Indeed, how can discriminating persons appreciate the real nature of a rope lying before them until they refute the illusion that it is a snake? My Lord, if one is favored by even a slight trace of the mercy of your lotus feet, he can understand the greatness of your personality. But those who speculate to understand the supreme personality of Godhead are unable to know you, even though they continue to study the Vedas for many years. My dear Lord, I therefore pray to be so fortunate that in this life as Lord Brahma or in another life, wherever I take my birth, I may be counted as one of your devotees. I pray that wherever I may be, even among the animal species, I can engage in devotional service to your lotus feet. O Almighty Lord, how greatly fortunate are the cows and ladies of Vrindavana, the nectars of whose breast milk you have happily drunk to your full satisfaction, taking the form of their calves and children. All the Vedic sacrifices performed from time immemorial up to the present day have not given you as much satisfaction. How greatly fortunate are Nand Maharaja, the cowherd men, and all the other inhabitants of Rajabhumi. There is no limit to their fortune because the absolute truth, the source of transcendental business, the eternal Supreme Brahma, has become their friend. Yet, even though the extent of the good fortune of these residents of Vrindavan is inconceivable, the 11 presiding deities of the various senses, headed by Lord Shiva, are also most fortunate because the senses of these devotees of Vrindavan are the cups through which we repeatedly drink the nectarian, intoxicating beverage of the honey of your lotus feet.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. So he's just asking forgiveness for his immaturity, and he's again describing that he is all the creator, maintainer, and annihilator, and he is the source of all superior and inferior energy of the Lord. And for whatever the action he has done, as I told you the story before, he is asking for a mistake, and he's feeling fortunate for all the people whom he has replaced, and the great fortune that he is with the Nanda Maharaj, the cowherd men, and all the inhabitants of the Vrajabhumi. Okay, so there is no limit for the good fortune, and the Lord here is associated with them in different rasas. Okay, so
Mataji, this
yes.
Lord Brahma's prayers and 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita were to be read during the Purushottama month.
Yes.
This was what you had been told.
Yes.
This
Yes.
Brahma's prayers and chapter 15 of
Purushottam
Bhagavad Gita.
Masa completed, no, Prabhu, now.
Yes, yes. Completed, but we had read through this.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah. So that's what. Okay, so we end, what is it? We have completed prayers by Brahma. So now we are left with the prayers by wives of Kaliya, Indra, Gopis, Akrura, Muchukunda, and prayers by Rudra. And finally, prayers by the Vedas. I think this we'll try to complete it in 2 classes, if possible. So next we'll go to the Acharya series. Okay. Any doubts or anything? So this is just as what do you say? It more or less is a reading session, just to have an idea like what all prayers which are of important in Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Yeah. Anything? So next week, just to remind me, we have to start from the prayers by wives of Kaliya. Okay. Again, the same story of Kaliya, who will try to, what do you say? Kaliya will be poisoning the Yamuna river, and Lord Krishna will come to rescue the cows and the calves and all, and the discussion sort of things. Then Kaliya will realize again, he will offer his prayers. So next week we will read about it. Okay, meanwhile, just chant Hare Krishna and try to increase 1 round if possible more than your regular rounds. Okay, Hare Krishna. If you have no more questions, we'll end the session for today. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you for your active participation. See you all next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.